I know it's been a long time coming, but I finally got the video ready for you guys on how to get this crispy lineup on an afro. So let me take you through the whole process. I'm going to show you the taper, the lineup, the shaping, everything. Let's get it. First, we're going to start with our bald guideline using our trimmers, and then we'll put our clipper in the open position to start our next guideline, going up about 1/4 inch and blending that out. Now you'll see me working with my 1.5 guard, creating another guideline, and now I'm going to use my 1 guard right under there to soften those lines. And now I'm going to take my 2 guard and have it in the open position and create the guideline that goes up into the fro. Now it's time to go back down to the 1/2 guard and work on those fade lines we created earlier. And here you'll see me using my 1 guard to get any of the darkness that I still see, perfecting that fade. Sometimes you think the fade is done, but it's not. So you'll see me shuffling through my guards. I got my 1/2, my 1.5 to perfect the fade. Major pro tip here, pull out those thinning shears and get any dark spots to lead up into the thickness of the fro. Hey, so now we got that side done. We'll just do the same thing on the other side, rinse and repeat. And voila, we're good. And once again, trust me with the thinning shears. They are a game changer. I now follow the same steps to taper the back out and perfect that, working on any dark spots that I might see. And then we'll move to our next step. And this part is vital. Right over the ear, we're gonna take our 3 guard, whether you have it open or slightly closed, and go over the ear to soften up that line so that we can get a crispy lineup on the edge of it. This is just gonna soften that fro right on the edges where we need it to. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Stay with me. We're just doing all this to prepare ourselves for the lineup that we'll do later. But now I'm gonna take my pick and we're gonna pick out his hair to prepare us for the shaping. Progress report, we got the fro in its natural shape. Now we're ready to work on the front. Here you will see me using my clipper to do 2 things. 1, it will allow me to shape the fro in the front, but it's also going to prepare us to create that clean edge up later on. Also, you'll see me shaping the fro, giving it a nice round formation. Here's a view of me doing the same right around his ear. As you can see, I pull his ear down and continue that round shape, matching the sides up with what I've already done on the top. You may have noticed that I brought the sides in a little tight on this cut. That's because the client preferred it that way. He didn't want his sides super round, so we brought them in. But we ran into a problem. This cliff, what are we gonna do with that? The same thing we've been doing, just shaping, using the other areas that we've already shaped as a guide to help us to take that cliff off, rounding it to perfection. And here you're gonna notice me using my thinning shears once again. The thinning shears are key. When you get up to the 2.5 and you get into that fro texture, those thinning shears are gonna help you blend the fade into that thick hair. Don't be afraid to use them. So now we've completed our fade and it's time for the cherry on top. My favorite part of the cut, the edge up. So let's start with the back. We're gonna do the back angle here on the right side. Flip his ear down and start to get around his ear. And pay attention closely to how I angle the trimmers. It's not just laying them flat, but I'm angling them so as to take the edge off and create that crispy lineup that we need around his ear. And sometimes as a barber, as you're doing these things, you start to notice some errors. So I saw some things in the fade that I didn't like. Now I'm going back and fixing them. Nothing wrong with that, because our job is to make sure that the product is consistent and that the client is satisfied. So now we're ready for the edge up. I'm gonna start my C-cup here. As you can see, my client's hair is a little soft on the edges, but we're not gonna use any enhancements or dig into it too deeply to make it so crispy that it compromises his lineup. And since we got that side finished, now we'll go and do the left side angle on the back. You'll see me going over the ear, freehanding, angling my clipper so that we get a nice, clean edge up around his ear. Now it's on to the C-cup on the left side of his head, following the same procedure. So this next step you guys are gonna see me do is the secret sauce. You are going to take your 1.5 guard closed and go right along the edges, creating a little bit of a tapered effect in that front lineup area. And if need be, you can even go against the grain to soften it even more. By doing this, now we are prepared to edge up the front. And all that tapering that you've done, now this is where it comes in handy. When you start to line it up, you're gonna have a nice flat tapered surface that will allow you to get a crispy lineup. Everyone else won't be able to tell that you've necessarily tapered the front, but the results will prove themselves. Remember, when doing a fro, the tapering is vital. As you're lining it up, you can even angle your trimmers upwards to take off any overlap where the fro might be hanging over the hairline. Remember, our goal is to have that hairline looking as best as possible. So take your time and go through your steps and your processes. And as you can see from this profile view, you've got a nice crispy edge. Now let's take a look at the back. I noticed something right there, a little bit of a line that I want to take care of. Sometimes it's not to the end that you reveal things that you need to fix. Don't be ashamed, just go and fix them. It's these small details that will set you apart from the other barbers. Your clients will appreciate you and they're going to tell others about you. So y'all remember where we started? What the fro looked like before? Wow, what a difference. We first focused on giving him a nice, clean, blended taper. Then we tapered the edges on the sides and in the front to allow us to get a nice edge up, which creates a beautiful frame on the painting that we had already created. And in order to shape the back, we used the guidelines that we had already created when we shaped the top and the sides. And last but certainly not least, we tapered the edges of the hairline to create a nice structured lineup. Thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to make another instructional video to help all of you in your barber journey. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and send to your friends in case they have any questions.